Apple has a problem with the iPhone 18 Pro. Not a design problem, not a software problem, a $1 billion supply problem. And it is going to affect whether you can actually get one after weeks of tracking every leak, every supply chain report, and every confirmed spec on this phone. I think most people are missing the real story here, and the real story is not about the camera. There is one number buried in a supply chain report that changes how you should think about buying this phone entirely. We will get to it, but first, 12 features, a price hike nobody is happy about, and one upgrade I think will permanently change how people use their cameras. That last one, it is not the one you are expecting. The iPhone 18 Pro is launching in September 2026. It is one of only 2 new iPhones coming this fall, the other being the iPhone Ultra Foldable, which starts at over $2,000. The standard iPhone 18 delayed to spring 2027. The iPhone Air 2 also delayed. So if you want a new iPhone this year and it is not a $2,000 foldable, the 18 Pro and Pro Max are your only options. That matters more than you think. I have spent weeks going through every credible leak, every supply chain filing, and every analyst note on this device. There is a lot of noise right now. Here is the signal. Let's start with something no iPhone review will cover at launch, because by then it will be too late. Apple is facing a DRAM shortage that is directly slowing down iPhone 18 Pro production right now. Here's how it works. The A20 Pro chip, which we will get to, is manufactured at TSMC on a brand new 2 nanometer process. Production is actually going well, yields are good, chips are being made, but they cannot be packaged and shipped because there is not enough DRAM to complete the process. TSMC is currently sitting on approximately $1 billion worth of finished Apple processors, just waiting. Apple and its assemblers say they are confident they can meet initial launch demand, but they are specifically worried about online wait times stretching out fast and retail shelves drying up shortly after. Here's why that matters to you directly. The iPhone 18 is delayed to 2027. The Air 2 is delayed. The only other new phone this fall is the iPhone Ultra Foldable, over $2,000. So demand for the 18 Pro is going to be higher than any recent iPhone cycle. More buyers, fewer options, and a supply chain that is already running behind. If you are planning to buy one, pre-order on day 1, not day 2, day 1. Okay, let's talk about what you're actually getting. The dynamic island is getting smaller. Apple is reportedly moving Face ID's flood illuminator under the screen, leaving a cutout that is roughly 35% narrower than the current one. In practice, the front of this phone is going to look cleaner than anything Apple has shipped before. The display gets LTPO Plus technology. Same screen sizes, 6.3 and 6.9 inches, but meaningfully better efficiency, which translates to longer battery life without adding weight. Speaking of battery, the iPhone 18 Pro Max is reportedly packing over 5,000 milliamp hours. That is nearly 10% larger than the 17 Pro Max. And the 17 Pro Max just won a 35 phone battery life comparison. So now the camera, and this is where it gets interesting and slightly complicated. The main 48 megapixel camera gets a variable aperture, mechanical iris, like a real camera lens. You can actually control how much light reaches the sensor and adjust your depth of field. Samsung tried this on the Galaxy S9 back in 2018. It did not go great. Xiaomi tried it on the 13 Ultra and 14 Ultra. Also complicated, and they removed it on the next model. But here is the difference. Those phones had relatively small image sensors. The iPhone 18 Pro has a significantly larger sensor. Apple's computational photography pipeline behind every shot, and 7 years of additional sensor engineering. If any company can actually make variable aperture work on a smartphone, it is probably this one. The A20 Pro chip runs on TSMC's 2 nanometer process, the same node that just started shipping in volume. Apple is using a new packaging method called wafer-level multi-chip module, which puts the RAM on the same wafer as the processor, faster communication between components, better efficiency, and the new C2 modem brings something genuinely new to iPhone: 5G via satellite, not emergency texts, actual 5G browsing, no Wi-Fi, no cellular tower required. For people who travel frequently, live in rural areas, or work anywhere cell coverage is unreliable. That is not a spec sheet bullet point. That is a real change in what this phone can do. Colors this year: dark cherry, light blue, dark gray, silver. The rear glass gets a frosted, unified look. No more two-tone MagSafe circle. The camera control button gets simplified, pressure only, no capacitive touch, no haptics, and the Pro Max gets slightly thicker to fit that larger battery. 12 changes in total, some meaningful, some marginal, and one of them, I will tell you which in a moment, is the one that I think actually matters most for daily use. Here is where we have to be straightforward with each other. The iPhone 18 Pro is going to cost more. Analyst estimates put it at $200 to $300 above the iPhone 17 Pro. The iPhone 17 Pro started at $999, so you are potentially looking at $1,199, maybe $1,299 for the base Pro. Pro Max could cross $1,400, and this is not speculation. Apple already raised prices this year on Macs, iPads, HomePods, and Apple TV, citing component costs. The CEO flagged it publicly. The supply chain confirms the same pressures apply to iPhone. iPhones are next. Here is what makes this particularly uncomfortable. You have no alternative this fall. If you want a new iPhone, any new iPhone under $2,000, it is the 18 Pro. That is the entire menu. Apple knows this, and the pricing will reflect it. Is it worth it? That depends entirely on what you're upgrading from, which is exactly what we need to close on. So, should you buy the iPhone 18 Pro if you're on an iPhone 15 or older? Yes. The chip jump, the camera upgrade, the satellite 5G, and the battery improvement combine into a meaningful enough leap to justify the cost. Even at the higher price, if you're on a 16 Pro, wait, the changes are real. They are not upgrade after 1 year and pay $300 more real. If you are on a 17 Pro, put the wallet away. You already have one of the best iPhones ever made. The 18 Pro will be better. It will not be transformatively better. Now, that feature I said would change how people use their cameras. It is the 5G satellite connectivity. Not because it is the most technically impressive spec on this list, but because for the first time, your iPhone works as a phone in places where it currently does not. Dead zones, remote locations, international travel without a local SIM. That is a daily life unlock, not a benchmark number. Pre-order early. The supply situation is real and confirmed. Apple is confident they can meet launch demand, but launch demand with no standard iPhone 18, no Air 2, and a $2,000 foldable sitting next to it, that demand is going to be unusually high. I will have a full hands-on the moment I get my review unit. Until then, which of these 12 features actually matters to you? Drop it below. I am genuinely curious whether anyone else cares as much about the satellite 5G as I do, or whether it is just me.